Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just...
There's nothing to see here. Move along.
Chasing us off already? This feels familiar.
Ma'am, please don't cause a scene.
I want you to know I'm holding back for your sake.
Do you have any actual business here, or...?
สรุปพรุ่งนี้เอายังไงอะไม่เบลไปเที่ยวเองเดี๋ยวไปต่อคิวซูชิให้อะไร
ก็เดี๋ยวไปล่าร้านที่ต่อคิวซูชิก่อนละกัน
ไปกินเขาตื่นเที่ยงไปกินเลยเขาเที่ยงพอดีอย่างนั้นนะ
ไม่ก็ออกเร็วก็ออกสัก10 โมงแล้วก็ไปต่อคิวก็ไปถึงมันร้านเปิด11ก็กินถ้าต่อคิว11
เช็คก่อนมีจุดสิเปิด11 โมงอะไรอย่างนั้น
ก็พอดีเลยตื่นชิวๆนะออกไป10
เสร็จแล้วไปไหนพรุ่งนี้ต่อ
เสร็จก็อันนั้นอยู่ในชิบุยะใช่ไหม
ในชิบุ
อยู่
ยะ
แถวๆชิบุยะใช่ไหม
อยู่ในชิบุยะเลย
คงจะเดินเล่นชิบุยะ
แต่พี่สิเปิด10 โมงไม่ใช่สถานีชิบุยะอยู่นี่ เดินเล่นนี่
ก็ไปแล้ว
ไปหมดแล้ว
ถ้าเราพรุ่งนี้จะไป21 วันเดินได้ไป
หาร้านอะไรก็จะมีกิน
ก็คือจะไปด้วยนะก็จะตลาดมาที่ไหนก็ได้
คงไม่ไปด้วยขี้เกียจจะตามไปกินด้วยอย่างเดียวเลยอยากไปกินแน่
กินซูชิก่อนแล้วก็มาทานกัน
ก็จะไปกินที่ต่อคิว11 โมงกินเที่ยงอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะถ้าตอนพีคสุดต่อคิวสักชั่วโมงถ้าไม่พีคมากอาจจะได้เร็วหน่อยถ้าจะไปต่อคิวไม่นานก็ไปกินแบบบ่าย 2 บ่าย 3อะไรอย่างเงี้ยช่วงที่มันไม่ใช่เรื่องข่าว
จะกินขนมกวนไหมล่ะขนมไม่ต้องต่อคิว
มันแวะซื้อหน้าร้านอย่างเดียวครับมันเป็นร้านนั่งกิน
มีนั่งด้วยน่าจะใกล้ที่สุด
Yeah? Let's see it. Huh. Looks like your papers are in order. All right. Go on through.
ก็คือไปชิบูย่าก่อน แล้ว
ไปชิ
ยิ
บู
ง
ย่าก่อนเสร็จ
ไปถึงชิบูย่า11 โมงใช่ป่ะก็ได้กินข้าวเช้าพอดี
พี่เบลจะขี้เกียจแล้วพี่เบลจะตามมาล่ะ
ก็ได้ ตามมาคือเบลจะไปตั้งแต่กี่โมงยังไง
ก็บอกออกเดินเลย
ไปถึง10 ครึ่งอะไรอย่างนั้นก็เบลว่าไปเดินเล่นก่อนตั้งแต่เช้าออก8-9 โมงอะไรอย่างเงี้ยไปเดินเล่นชิบุยะวันอาทิตย์นะงั้นก็ตามไปกินตอนบ่ายบ่าย2อะไรอย่างนั้นเลยไหมคนจะได้น้อยหรือหิวอยากกินก่อนจะให้ไปกี่โมงอ่ะก็ได้
งั้นก็ออกด้วยกันเลยละกันออกไปถึงออก10 โมงออก10 โมงก็ไปดูที่ร้านเลย
ถ้า
จะได้ชิมเลย
ถ้าออก10 โมงก็ไปต่อคิวหน้าร้านเลยมันต่อคิวตั้งแต่ก่อน11 โมงอยู่แล้วก็ถ้าอย่างนั้นก็ได้กิน11 โมงกว่าอะไร11 โมงครึ่งอะไรอย่างเงี้ยกินเสร็จเที่ยง
ไม่ว่ากัน
อย่างนั้นก็ได้ไม่กิน MK แล้ว
How did you get in here?
On they go!
I'll keep quiet.
just a moment. I beg your pardon, Minister Clark. What?
Just goes to show you never really see your hometown till you travel with a visitor.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out in the city. That will be from downstairs, still in the cafeteria.
That's science. Make him regret it. Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right. You weren't here when it happened. Salute yellow. Possible connections to Phineas Wells.
What's this I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample 4157? That batch failed spectacularly.
I can take a hint.
Nice hit!
With us.
If you stop it, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm asking you to help me correct that mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal. When you're done, come speak to me in my office.
Adjutant Akande's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain? We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
I've kept myself busy in your absence. All I... What? Oh, yes, well, that... Why do you... Oh, hold on. I always... That's... None of the... Human... Thank you. So... You say the boy...
I'll tell you. I used to work. We're out of... Do you realize what this means for the... Short of lining up every... Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers. The board's going to dispose of... We need to get to those columns. Merciful gibbering. We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space. Yes, exactly. If we link up the Hope...
I don't know much.
Excellent.
And that's going to work.
Yes. You'll need... Once... Sir... It wouldn't surprise... The... Skip try... I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If... You absolutely... The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted track. The enemy is bound to discover my hideout sooner or later. Use my communication. Sir.
You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
Minister Clark, what a remarkable honor it is to meet you.
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Have I not made myself clear? Slowly and loudly, Aloysius. That's the only way these morons understand anything. I said, you may tell Charles to go fuck himself. Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team. That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in? My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather expansive definition of the term. Which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here. Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not.
Will that be all, then? Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course! It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. You are a quick study, indeed. I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
He's attempting to game the system, but he won't be able to get away with it forever. Eventually, Rockwell's house of cards will topple.
I dearly hope so, and you might be part of the equation. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. How should I know? I've been under house arrest for years. But there is a way to find out, and perhaps to set things right. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
Captain, we must investigate Rockwell. An injustice like this cannot go unchecked.
Indeed, it cannot. I can't overstate the urgency of the matter.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter.
เมื่อกี้ว่าอะไรฮะเออ
Halcyon Holdings Corporation, the collective of companies that run the colony together. Allegedly in partnership with the Earth Directorate and appointed Minister of Earth. I dearly hope I'm not imagining this. Now, we've got to get into the HHC. That's in the Acropolis District, along with the other major corporate and government facilities. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. They're rather dirty. There are also rumors of sprat infestations, faulty auto mechanicals, and other unsavory hazards, if that sort of thing bothers you. Suit yourself. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think what Rockwell's done with the place. A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. The man has too much money and too little sense. The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look. I merely hid it in a book. No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here.
Obviously, the chairman surrounds himself with the cream of Byzantium's elite.
There are a few advantages to dealing with imbeciles. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more. all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years.
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are no match. And it is hardly in their interest to let Halcyon crash. Depending on the nature of their response, months at least, perhaps years. Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here is no mean feat. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis district. You! When you reach the... Wait! And now...
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge? We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
Said you docked 3 days ago?
This looks like the place.
You must be back for our Act of the Architect policy. Be advised that any claims submitted under this policy must include actual proof of an actual deity as well as their complicity in your personal misfortune. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one.
Are you serious?
Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness.
Hey, those are entirely made up.
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. Of course she is. The paperwork says so.
I like to think she's dead in spirit, but technically, legally, and regretfully, I'm still Marilyn Fenhill.
That's impossible. By all accounts, she was an elegant and classy woman with impossibly fine bone structure. That couldn't possibly be you.
That's gotta be the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while.
Please. My policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well. I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
Can we talk?
You must be back. That's... What can I do for...
I need a word. You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Maybe as line holders or warm bodies? Oh, sure. You've got to wait in line for just about anything in Byzantium. And not everyone has the time or inclination to do it themselves. As for warm bodies, some companies like to keep extra workers on site to look more productive. Oh no, there's lots of paper shuffling and pen clicking that goes on. The really good ones know how to leave sticky notes in just the right places. See, this is why I had to get out of Byzantium. Not sure what comes next for me, though. I've never been much of a planner. Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Could have fooled me with all your tough talk. What's gotten into you? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. You don't have to get all mushy about it. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day, they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh? Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon, but not much else to know, Captain. Nope. Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future? Maybe you haven't... Hate to... Could have... You...
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on... We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Here we go! Don't mess with us.
We hope you've enjoyed your trek across the breathtaking landscape of Emerald Vale, Terra 2's most fertile settlement and future breadbasket of Halcyon. Take a moment to enjoy this vista with a can of Spacer's Choice Saltuna before you make your way to Mighty Scylla, Halcyon's biggest asteroid.
Destination reached. Scylla. Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again. We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Come.
Don't mess with us.
Got a fight on our hands. Have your back now.
Welcome to Terra 1, the most Earth-like world in Halcyon. Take a moment to admire the triumph of civilization over nature. And while you're at it, say hello to the local settlers. We hope you've enjoyed this guided tour across the wonders of Halcyon. Please return to the Bureau of Exploration for a special prize.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
You don't think that's a problem? Whole ship's running on a computer's fancy. That'll make you nervous, Preacher?
No, Felix. The concept of a ship computer does not make me nervous. Are you scared of Ada?
I ain't scared of Ada.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's just, she's a computer, Max. What happens when her equations tell her to cut off her oxygen? Or blast us all into space?
Felix, Ada is not sentient. She can't act out of a sense of malice. Where do you get these ideas?
I was watching true stories of mechanical murderers last night.
Felix, I find your purity refreshing.
Destination reached. The groundbreak.
Hope you find some good salvage out there. Or if you can't find some, make some. That's a good question. Yes? Yes, that sounds right. I'll make sure to include that in the new employee salvage tutorial. Swell. Has anyone from HR given you the new employee talk? I don't actually know. That answers for both questions. Here goes. Welcome to Sublight, where salvage runs thicker than blood. We're still trying out new slogans. Sublight, because what's your alternative? Hey, that's not a bad slogan. Thanks. Glad to have you on board. We could use the help after what happened to the last contractor. No I didn't. Oh, that. Just stay in Miss Lilia's good side. Stealing office supplies is a good way to end up as salvage, if you know what I mean. Knew you were a smart guy.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. You know what? Fuck it. Enjoy yourself. I invest in the happiness of my workers, and you deserve a bigger cut. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. I guess you're just one of the lucky ones. Look on the bright side. You just started and you're already on the path to a promotion. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine doesn't always play nice with others, but it sounds like she and Clive reached some kind of understanding. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? Like they were hanging on to your every word, scheming. And when you turned around, maybe they just point like innocent little idiots. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. They're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
How big we talking? Not like groundbreaker big, right?
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why. While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal. Not this time. The board tolerates our business up to a point, and selling off a station full of their old gear and terminals crosses that point. But if we were to move in and commandeer the station as a Sublight salvage remote office, that's a different matter. Legally gray by comparison. More of a squatter situation. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. Both. Neither. Right now, it's safer if I keep you in the dark. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me. Don't forget about the research station. A score this big comes once a career, and only if you're lucky. No, of course not. Why? What have you heard? What did they tell you? Bullshit. If I kept a spreadsheet of my concerns, which I do, company loyalty wouldn't be on it, which it isn't. This is all very complicated, but you should watch out, in general. Don't trust anyone, including me. I'll say this. When you're on a job, if you find yourself confronted with something your mind can't quite process, don't try and fight it. You just run. Understand? That's good. With any luck, we won't need to bring this up again. That...
อะไรนะ
เคยไป GP Museum ปะ
เคยไปก็ดีแต่ตอนนี้ไปจองไม่ทันแล้วมันต้องจองล่วงหน้าเดือนหนึ่งตลอดเยอะ
I get... Like they were... I'm... You're gonna suck. This... Right... What? No. Oh, I'm on... Don't forget... No. Oh, so you don't know. Good. This is all very complicated, but you should watch out, in general. Don't I'll say this. That's good. No kidding. The board sure wanted that place kept secret, and not just because of the pricey salvage. Huh. That's new. When the board wants to experiment on colonists, they usually just release an exclusive line of products. It takes deep pockets to move a research staff off-world. I'd bet you my desk they were mixing more than just soft drink flavors. Wow, that sounds spooky as fuck. And frankly, I'm a little jealous. Damn, now I've got to see that for myself. Morbid curiosity gets the better of me every time. Be careful out there, contractor. Don't step on any toes unless you're ready for a fight. I'd like you to commandeer it on behalf of Sublight Salvage. Plant my company's flag, so to speak. We'll do the rest. My time's yours. Try not to waste it.
This is Halcyon News.
Hello. Welcome to the office of the representative of Halcyon Holdings here on Groundbreaker. How might I assist you today? My sincerest apologies, but I'm afraid I don't understand. Other guy? I must regretfully state I do not. Now, if you have nothing further, please excuse yourself. Hello. How? Regretfully, that name doesn't ring a bell. Now, if you have nothing further, I am the board's representative here on Groundbreaker. You may call me Mr. Silva, or Sir, whichever you prefer. If you're asking why he no longer sits at this desk, that's simple enough. His employment with Halcyon Holdings was terminated. If you're instead inquiring as to the precise location of his body, well, that I do not know. May I help you with anything else? I haven't asked, nor do I care to know. I heard screams, in point of fact, from down the waste disposal hall. Now you know as much as I do. I hope this information satisfies your curiosity. Good day. Hello again. I haven't a moment to spare for you.
Great work.
Help! I'm locked in here. Can you get me out?
Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet. Thanks again, friend. What usually happens on this partially pressurized rust bucket? Something broke. Well, actually two things broke. First, the damn toilet overflowed. When I came to clean that up, the damn door decided to close and lock on me. Time stood still. I was aware of nothing but the smell. Ugh, could have been days. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. Song is gonna have my ass for wage theft. You're gonna shake me down after I was trapped in a shit-covered bathroom? Is that how it is? That all? Of course. Everyone on the ship's gonna hear about this. Hell, it's the only chance I've got to keep my job. Here we go!
Don't mess with us. Got it. Inside voices.
Nicely done.
We can
Incoming.
handle this.
Full after them.
Great work.
Hey, how'd you get back there?
Last I heard, the board was in dispute with the renting company. It's out to die.
Good to see you.
Rizzo's mock apple. Fire for a hard life.
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs.
You ever notice how our crew's a lot like that crime family from The Masked Marketeer?
Oh, which one's the captain?
You know the head of the family? Never shows up on screen, but everybody's scared of him? That's the boss.
And everyone's got different theories about what they're really up to? I can see that. And what about me?
A scion of Byzantium turned to banditry? You've got to be the Masked Marketeer.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
This is Halcyon News.
How do you do? What? All right, I suppose. How might I assuage your fears? Whom else would I work for? Those sublight thugs? That Tennyson woman? The sweaty masses in the groundside townships? The board is the only force for order in this rough-and-tumble colony of ours. Without them, we'd all starve to death or meet our end in a canid's jaws. That's a curious question. I can't say I've ever considered how my personal satisfaction factors into the work I do. Permit me to answer your question in another way. In Byzantium, I was one among many. I often felt, lost in the hurry and expanse of the capital. Here I have a measure of power and suffer little oversight. It makes for a different kind of loneliness, but it's one I have found I can endure. I understand. And I would ask the same of you, but I suspect... Well, I suspect I'd find your answers less than satisfactory, wouldn't I? Indeed. And you know where he is? Excelsior! An apprehension of this caliber would be tremendous for my career. I would send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium, but... Just a teensy one, the teensiest. Nothing to, lie awake worrying about for nights on end or anything. The thing is, I needed money. A lot of money, quickly, for reasons. That's really neither here nor there, don't you think? I've been working on something on the side, all right? Something not entirely, on the level. It's a little silly, I'll admit. Silly and completely illegal. I'd be forced into early retirement if the board found out. I produce bootleg serials. I can't help myself. Jurisprudence after hours. Or All My Colonists, The New Immortals. Romance, tragedy, debt collection. And they're all mine.
That was you? Oh my stars. All My Colonists is just... Well, it gave me a story hangover for days, Mr. Udom.
You're a fan? I've never met one in the flesh. I suddenly feel quite naked.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Udom. I don't judge.
The heart wants what it wants, as they say. And mine yearns for the adoration of the masses. Held at a comfortable distance, of course. Flatterer. I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fancier on the Groundbreaker. I can't authorize the paperwork you'll need to turn Phineas in without it.
Stray too much from the, straight and narrow, and one may just find himself assigned pastoral duty in a maximum security penitentiary.
It's only temporary, of course. I'd never leave something so important in the hands of someone of such a dubious moral character. I was going to buy it back once I raised the capital. So you'll need to get my seal back from her if you want to hand Phineas over to the board. That's the long and short of it, yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm certain Gladys can be made, well, can probably be made to see reason. I'll be waiting eagerly for your return. Now, is there any way in which I might assist you?
Is it Mr. Wells, the fellow who woke you? How bad could he be?
It's almost time for... Depends. What are you planning to do with it? Something as hard to come by as an official board seal doesn't fall into a girl's lap every day, my dear. I'm keen to see it put to interesting ends. See the lights. Taking a show or two at the infamous Bijou. Could be a treat if you like that kind of thing. All right, I'll sell it to you. But it's gonna cost you dear. Well, ain't that peachy? You enjoy that stamp, you understand? And don't you dare use it responsibly. Anything else? Anytime, sweet.
Still getting acquainted? Can't go wrong if you stick to the promenade. Didn't quite catch that. You'll have to speak up. Glass ear? Sorry, there's a lot of static on my end. Nothing to fear? Sorry again. The sound of Groundbreaker's engines has really got to me over the years. Huh? What? Huh. Now that I heard.
This is Halcyon.
How do you do? Oh my law. You've done it. You've saved my hide. I can't thank you enough. Now then, let me see. I just have to apply the seal here, sign like so, and... ta-da! Here are the forms you'll need once you reach Byzantium. Oh, and a nav key so your ship can travel there. Those authorization forms will let you speak with Sophia when you arrive. I'll send her a message straight away to let her know you're coming. She'll be delighted, I'm sure.
Where you been living, Captain? Under a rock? Miss Sophia's got to be the second most important person in the entire colony.
Yes, quite. Miss Akanda is just the person to take someone with your particular talents and sterling character under her wing. She can fill you in on all of the board's operations in the colony, really put your talents to use. Best of luck to you, and thank you again. Give my regards to the Unreliable.
Crew report. Bioka is drunk. Surprise. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Can we talk? Since we... and great if you and
I think I'll initiate.
Not so fast. All right, you're clear. The adjutant's expecting you. Go on through. If you've got a question, talk to Percival.
I see you haven't been shot to pieces by the guards. Do you have an appointment? Of course. You're that curious spacer Mr. Bedford mentioned. Just a moment, please. Madam Adjutant, Bedford's contact has arrived. Shall I clear your schedule?
No, thank you, Percival. I doubt this will take long. I'm Sophia Akonde, adjutant to the chairman. What could possibly have given you that impression? Do you think that because you have curried the favor of the board, the Honorable Chairman Rockwell would deign to meet with you in person? Only 6 to 8 weeks? You have a generous opinion of our bureaucracy. Chairman Rockwell is a busy man. For the time being, you're stuck dealing with me. I've been reading all about you. This dossier from Emerald Vale was especially engrossing. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. You walked through Edgewater and in your wake transformed it from a loyal company town to a haven for dissidents. I'm actually a little impressed. Anyone with eyes can see that you're talented. But you're also unpredictable. I don't like unpredictable. You have potential, but as an investment, you're also a risk. I'd like to take you for a trial run. I have a job for you. One of our cartographers needs to be retired. I want you to carry it out. Rachel Lockwood. Cartographer for the Bureau of Exploration. She's done some sensitive work for us, but now she's a loose end. Lockwood has to go. Get rid of her. Bring me her work. Then we'll talk about Dr. Wells. I'll tell you what I can. It isn't as if we're executing Lockwood for mislabeling a river on a map. It isn't what she's done, but what she knows that forces our hand. The nature of Lockwood's work was sensitive, confidential, and concerns the future of Halcyon. I can't risk leaving her alive. The board has a lot of problems. The absence of competent security is just one. I'm the chairman's adjutant, not his sycophant. I can't serve the board if I'm blind to our own mistakes. What Halcyon needs is people of integrity. People who act out of a sense of duty, rather than fear. I hope you're one of those people. Let's not mince words. Wells is a dangerous criminal and a lunatic. He's earned every bit of his bounty. I know you're eager to collect on that bounty. Deal with Lockwood, then we'll talk.
We're gonna kill somebody without even knowing what they did wrong, if anything?
Keep your associates in line, Captain. I expect them to follow your orders as you follow mine. At the very least, I expect you to do better than the other freelancer. Report back to me when you're finished. We've hired outside contractors before. There's another freelancer working this job, but he's been dragging his heels. Dependable and competent freelancers are hard to come by. For your own sake, I hope you prove to be the exception and not the rule. I'll tell you what I can. Let's not mince words. Wells is a dangerous I know you. Excellent.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my stationery. Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the adjutant's stationery, which is more of a hobby. Quite so. I owe the honor of my current position to a reputation for discretion, and also my family's connections. Will there be anything else? Oh, you were being serious. I'm obliged to inform you that Chairman Rockwell is unavailable for an indeterminate duration. Will there be anything else? The art of arranging stationery is a never-ending source of joy and satisfaction. Will there be anything else?
How are you feeling, Mr. Vicar? After your, hallucinations.
Fantastic. But it must be said that the sensation of myself as a separate mind inside a bag of skin was the real hallucination.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. It's quite liberating to... This is where those who fancy themselves the best and brightest of our society live. Trespassing here is a true honor.
It's a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams, and predictive models, we are publishing...
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore.
Welcome. Well, hey there. What can I do for you? Damn, fine. You got me. I ain't a receptionist. Truth be told, I'm glad you know. Lying to a stranger weighs heavily on my spirit. I was hired to cross off Ms. Lockwood. Thought I'd pose as her receptionist. Brilliant, right? Thing is, she ain't shown up in ages. So here we are. I'll just tell her I'm the replacement. If she calls me on it, I'll kill her. If she buys it, I'll kill her. Win-win. Ha! Hope you don't mind a bit of competition. May the best receptionist win. Perish the thought. I don't just waltz about murdering who I please. I am a professional. I have got standards. Hey, I tried to convince him to take a vacation. He wasn't hearing it. Some people's work ethic is just too strong for their own good. I'm gonna wait for her to return. Tell you what, you find out where she is, you let me know, yeah? As a professional courtesy. Then we can both have at it. And whoever kills her better gets the contract. What do you say? Yeah, I'm excited about this. What's on your mind, friend? Oh, you know how it goes. Board put out a contract, I put in a request, made a few appointments with the appropriate departments, signed some papers. Looked like an easy job. She's a map maker, right? What's she gonna do? Consult her maps and find a good place to hide? Knock yourself out. Let me know if you find anything.
Well, you're obviously not from around here. I don't... Are you... Are you... Fair enough. My dear fellow, you...
I tell you what.
I'd appreciate it if you could keep this whole assassin thing just between us. The tunnels? That sprat. You're brilliant. Meet me down there and we'll sort this all out.
You, sir, are a fabulous negotiator.
Get away from me! Were you following me? Back off, all right? I've got a slide rule and I'm not afraid to use it.
All right. Enough with the pleasantries. Thanks for the tip-off, friend. Can we get to the killing? My palms are starting to itch.
What? Killing? What the fuck is going on here?
My friend and I here have jobs to do. You just sit tight for a minute while we discuss how we're gonna handle this. The contract calls for her maps, yeah? Half the bits for the maps, half for the confirmation of the kill. How's about I take the kill, and you take the maps?
Hold on, okay? Just hear me out. What if...
Will you pipe down? We're trying to have a business meeting here. You must be new to the assassination game. If you talk to your victims, it makes it harder to kill them, see? It's not recommended. Didn't you read the handbook?
Please, just listen. You don't need to...
Shush! Oh, all right. The anticipation is killing me, though. Get it? Because I want to kill her?
Wait. Whatever the contract is, I'll pay you both the full amount. You let me live, and you don't have to split anything.
That's a lot of bits. But, I mean, I've got a reputation to uphold. How would you feel if someone paid you to make bogus maps? You know, my friend, that's a fine point. If I hightail it out of here, I can avoid the inside of a cell for once. All right. Deal.
Thank the law. Here's your half. And here's yours.
Right. Well, you two, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure. Yeah. I honestly hope I never see either of you again. I swear I'll leave Byzantium. I'll leave Terra too. I'll find a way off Halcyon, if I can.
Well, can't say I've ever left someone alive.
How may I be of assistance? Wonderful. I'll file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Meanwhile, Adjutant Akande would like a word with you.
You allowed Rachel Lockwood to walk away with her life. Do you realize the inconvenience you just caused me? I don't recall giving you authority to barter with my reputation. I recall giving you instructions to deal with Lockwood. Leaving her alive complicates matters. But that's now my problem, not yours. And you've brought me Lockwood's papers, as I asked. You've demonstrated your talents. If you're ready to talk about Phineas Wells, I'm prepared to listen. I appreciate that you want to drive a bargain. You understand I'm not paying you for anything less than reliable information. Wells had to be in touch with you somehow. Find his communication terminal and send us a tracing signal. Once I verify his location, I'll arrange for your payment. I always reward good work. Deliver Wells to the board, and you'll be more than compensated. Percival will file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Once you sent a tracking signal from Wells's lab, we'll move on to the next step.
As instructed, the code for our secure communication channel. On behalf of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, I bid you good day. Oh, just a receipt for your services and my receipt for your receipt, and also a standard declaration of intent to perform espionage. Very routine. I'll see to it personally. I'm flattered beyond description.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are... We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in...
So? Alois, come. You. 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 Sent a corrupted signal as we discussed, yes? I'll take your silence as an affirmative. I've heard those iconic... Oh.
Crew report. Biyokers, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Your signal made it through. We've pinpointed Dr. Wells's orbital lab. Excellent work. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Transmissions are so impersonal. I'd like to meet you face to face.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain? We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Do you mind? Shh. I... Why can't...
I'm curious. Wells may have been a delusional madman, but he risked his life to save yours. So why turn him in? Revenge is a powerful motivator. Wells was thoughtless and manipulative. Turning him in was the right thing to do. You've done well. You're efficient, talented, loyal. And if you're ready to get to work, we can finally start doing some good in this colony. Wells was an unfortunate mistake on our part. We let him out of our sights, and he operated from the shadows for decades. Wells has information we need. We're going to monitor his lab and show our hand when we're ready. Until then, you and I have work to do. My sources tell me you've been busy on Monarch. I'm sure you've seen the miserable state of affairs there, but lawless cesspool that it may be, Monarch has one important asset. All of Monarch's extraplanetary broadcasts are routed through Devil's Peak Station. I want you to claim Devil's Peak Station for the board, by force if need be. I have an agent working in Stellar Bay, Everett Gill. Have a word with him as soon as you arrive. The passphrase is, the kind of pine grows at night. Yes? So what? Look, that's not important. Get to Stellar Bay and find Everett Gill. Speak to Percival before you go. He'll arrange for your reward for turning in Wells.
Adjutant Akande has instructed me to reward you for information leading to the arrest of Phineas Wells. Please allow me to extend my felicitations on a job well done. Quite so, sir. As an acting agent of the board, you are entitled to purchase a selection of official board-certified equipment at a discount. Do let me know if you wish to take advantage of this special offer. I am Also, if you're traveling to Monarch,
If you stop in the engine room, would... We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
Uh-huh.
Think they're watching the same serials?
Got
following
any
the same
news from the rest of
house? Bird, are you?
Look, my back aches and everything smells like fish. I just...
In case I did not impress...
So much for peace and quiet. And I... Yes, the one that crashed. I saw it on the security feed. A bit grainy, but an invigorating watch all the same. What about it? The board has a blockade of gunships that patrol Monarch. Not a ton, mind you, just enough to deter the masses. I am curious as to what downed it. A faulty part wouldn't be wholly unusual. The supply for new mechanicals is tight. Ugh, now I'll never sleep. Unsolved puzzles really torque my sprockets. If you find out what happened, sell me the info. Is this bonding? I'm not sure I like it. Next, you'll be asking me how I got the scar on my chin when I was 11. Most of it's underneath along my jaw, but yes, it seems to have faded with time. Moral of the story is, never run with scissors. Ha! Oh, that's a good one. You're not serious, are you? Yes, well, let's see how long that lasts. Not surprising, replacement parts are rare, so the cost of even a simple repair can exceed an arm and a leg. I take it you investigated the wreckage? Don't guess the captain would have quite pegged the price of disrepair being the cost of their lives, but these things happen. A shame. I would have enjoyed investigating the mystery further. I'm getting a headache behind my left temple. What could be causing it? The glare from the... Allow me to assure you that I know absolutely nothing about any allegedly illegal broadcasts. Surely the board is aware of that. They must know I'd never involved myself in such despicable activities. There's utterly no reason to arrest anyone in this broadcast station, let alone me. In fact, you're doing me a favor by helping me disable any alleged such broadcasts, if they exist. You could do me another favor by mentioning my loyalty to the board in your report.
I don't think this fella's entirely on the level.
Well, he flipped faster than an antique coin.
I'm not sure whether to be touched or insulted by that. Look, you never met a man more willing to work with the board than me. I know we can come to an agreement, please. Sophia does? What sort of an amount are we intimating here? Never mind. The details are of no matter for now. I'm happy to help the board in any way I can, for so long as they consider me a friend. And as you've already shut down the transmission from Amber Heights and Stellar Bay, you've effectively ended all unregulated chatter on the planet. I suppose it won't kill me to work under Sophia. I am on familiar terms with her from a, let's call it a past contract job. As I am now inextricably in the board's service, I'd say we're done here. Unless, of course, you require anything further. Give my regards to Sophia, won't you?
Captain, if you're looking for crew members... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Hey, boss. I've been thinking. I can't believe I wanted to shake his hand. Makes you wonder if being a treacherous... But... You never do. Hey, boss. Got a hypothetical for you? Got... Clyde...
I've just finished reading a report of your work on Monarch. The broadcasts have been silenced at last. Graham Bryant was a madman, a narcissist, and exceedingly dangerous. Colony is safer without him. And you brokered an alliance with the broker himself. Hiram Blythe is a valuable asset. Well done. Your work is exemplary. You've earned a place in the chairman's inner circle. Congratulations are in order. No, I haven't been watching you. I've been reading reports of your work. You're better than an adventure serial. Now, we introduce you to the chairman's plan. Turn your eyes to the screen.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
The powerful make the mistakes, and the powerless are left paying the price, as it has always been. Tell me, Adjutant, have you anything to offer beyond the usual false platitudes?
I'm offering decisive action, Vicar DeSoto. I can no longer depend on lazy, weak-willed bureaucrats to help me rescue Halcyon. I need someone with a backbone, someone like your captain.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you knew why the whole time?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation, will soon spread across Halcyon unless we act. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. I'll answer however I can. We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have noticed the signs in Emerald Vale. Malnutrition, disease, high mortality rates. This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem of logistics as well as marketing. Your workers must remain productive on as little food as possible, and they must always believe that food is plentiful. I'm sure you remember Dr. Anton Crane. His research was instrumental in developing a powerful appetite suppressant. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The Lifetime Employment Program is our only viable option. When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked, even disgusted. I wondered how we'd allowed a colony like Halcyon to fall into disarray. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the colony had sown the seeds of its own destruction. We have become lazy and decadent. We smother ourselves in meaningless bureaucracies. We deliberate and argue and procrastinate. I've served the board long enough to understand its weaknesses. Running a colony requires swift and decisive action. The board is slow, ponderous, and prone to squabbling. That's why I'm relying on you. You deliver results without the paperwork. The Lifetime Employment Program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the fine print. The program is logical, it's reasonable, it's merciful, and most importantly, it will work. Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony. And as long as Byzantium survives, Halcyon may one day recover from the collapse. We must protect this city at any cost. Help me execute the Lifetime Employment Program, and you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. You will live in comfort and want for nothing. When you turned Phineas Wells over to me, I knew I could rely on you. You've demonstrated your ability to place duty above sentiment. And you deliver results. That quality alone is enough to separate you from the board's army of indecisive bureaucrats. Do you know how many meetings I have to sit through? How many papers I have to sign before I can make one decision? I'm only trying to rescue Halcyon from extinction. I can't save this colony alone. I need someone capable of working outside the system. Someone who can get things done. We need to talk about Emerald Vale. You handed Edgewater over to a band of dissidents. I can't have this. Adelaide McDevitt and her people have no place in the halcyon that is to come. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe the town out. No survivors.
I cannot condone this plan. Wanton, senseless destruction of life is never the solution.
I don't need you to approve of my plan, Vicar. I need you to get it done.
You're a monster.
Someone has to be. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you. You replaced a loyal, if hard-headed, town leader with a revolutionary. Adelaide's people have turned Edgewater into a hub of dissidents. These people are dangerous. They're going to become more dangerous after the collapse. We need to put them down. Now. Because right now you're the only person I can depend on. My hands are tied by endless rolls of red tape and bureaucratic limitations. Halcyon is going to collapse while the board hems and haws and debates minutiae. We need to act, and you're the only person with the wherewithal to do what's necessary. I'm not asking you to be a murderer. I'm asking you to be a surgeon. Edgewater is a necrotic limb on the body of the colony. It must be severed. Don't fool yourself. The dissidents occupying Edgewater are rebels harboring dangerous and seditious ideas. Left to their own devices, their numbers will grow. Graham Bryant and his merry band of morons caused enough trouble on Monarch. I won't risk the same thing happening in Edgewater. No, allowing thousands of colonists to starve to death because we couldn't make one cold-blooded decision is insane. What I'm suggesting is absolutely logical.
You talk less like a human than mechanicals I've known.
I am responsible for every single human life in this colony. Do you imagine I relish the thought of killing some of them to save the rest? Steel your spine, Captain. Do what needs to be done. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. I rather like you, and I'd hate to have you shot for disobeying a direct order. Not true. You can choose to say, "Yes, ma'am," or "At once, Madam Adjutant," or "As you wish," or even, "I'll take care of it."
I won't. You're better than this, Captain. You have to be. Don't make me choose between you and Edgewater, Captain. Between you and my people. Please.
I'm glad you can keep control over your associates. Edgewater is beyond saving. We're going to have to erase the town, but we're going to do it systematically. You were in the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. Do you remember what you discovered there? You've been paying attention. You're absolutely right. In fact, Spacer's Choice manufactured the incident for an insurance claim. They outfitted their mechanicals with a termination protocol, which is exactly what we need. The insurance claim has been locked in committee for years, but the individual responsible for the accident was promoted for lateral thinking. I'm arranging for a delivery of mechanicals to Edgewater. These mechanicals have been equipped with the same termination protocol, which must be activated from a terminal in the plant. Once the mechanicals are finished cleaning out Edgewater, I'll need you to go in and clean out the mechanicals. Understand? One last thing. Spacer's Choice sent a team of soldiers to investigate your little misadventure in the geothermal plant. Tread lightly. I like you, Captain, but you're not worth that much paperwork. I prefer keeping our relationship strictly off the books. Report back to me when the job's done.
Good
Phineas Wells does not have a plan. He has an obsession. He is obsessed with reviving the Hope's colonists, no matter the cost. Halcyon is already starving. We can't possibly introduce tens of thousands of new colonists into the system. Help me execute the lifetime employment program, and you will have earned a place of honor. I appreciate the flattery, Captain. One last thing.
Crew report. Bioka is drunk. Surprise. Captain Hawthorne never worked to support the board before, at least not officially. We are now in orbit above...
Describe the nature of... It's not the best choice. This area is currently experiencing a surprise audit. Oh, yes, absolutely. That's, don't let me...
Dr. Fenhill, have you ever contemplated the fact that we have no direct experience of our own heads?
As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dr. Wells has failed to discover the tracking signal broadcasting the location of his lab. Didn't I request?
Miss Nyoka's so capable, you hardly...
When I was stranded, we are now in orbit above.
I've just been informed that the problem of Edgewater... I know. You should be proud of yourself, Captain. I've made arrangements for you to journey to the Hope. You will board your former colony ship, reactivate its navigation. Once the Hope is in position, we will have... Technology, Captain. The same technology that allowed you under the Lifetime Employment Program. Every suitable worker in Halcyon will be placed in suspended animation. I won't lie to you. We're going to have to dispose of some of the Hope settlers in order to make room for... But try to understand. Many of your fellow settlers are beyond saving. They've been frozen for... convenience. The Hope is a massive The Hope has been out of commission for years. Then make your way to the Hope's... You've proven yourself... Give yourself some credit. I have the highest faith in your abilities.
Can we talk? So we're skipping Tartarus. Not like there's... I think you're making a smart play. The board holds every... That's how I look. Throw in some... I gotta... Europe, in any case, and...
If I still believed in the grand plan, a revelation like this, knowing you, I could... Yes, you're a bit... Any...
We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static.
Quiet as the grave in here. We should get the power generator going again. Might cheer up the place.